Hello, everyone. In today's book, we're going to be talking about some diary pages, some people coming back from the dead, but not as zombies, and a mystery in the making, a very eerie, twisty-turny, horrific secret. You don't want to miss any of this. This is a fantastic book. Let's talk about all that right now. All right, so the book we're going to be talking about today is called The Winter People by Jennifer McMahon. Now, she's gotten a lot of buzz in the horror community, and rightfully so, I think. However, this is the first book I've ever read by her. It's not her newest or her latest, but it's one that I liked the description. I liked the way it sounded, so I went ahead and picked it up. I said, yes, I want to read this book. It sounds very interesting. And man, am I glad I did. This is a good old-fashioned horror story. In this story, people come back from the dead, but they're not zombies. No. They're not like the living dead, where they lurch around trying to eat your brains or eat at your flesh. And they're not ghosts. They're actual real-life people called sleepers that come back from the dead. And the way to raise these people from the dead involves a portal that's set underneath a rock structure known as the Devil's Hand, because it looks like a big giant hand made out of stone. And underneath there's a little cave. And in that cave, there's a portal. And if you do a ritual exactly right, in the exact orders that is prescribed, it's said that your loved one will come back from the dead and be with you again for 7 days before disappearing altogether. And we all know that grief can make people do some horrible things. We've seen it in books time after time. Pet Sematary probably being the one that most people would associate with this kind of thing, by Stephen King there. Pet Sematary? Yeah, you remember that? Of course you do. But this book is completely different because it takes place not only in the present, but it takes place in the past in like 1908 and thereabouts. And a mother and a daughter who had this strong bond, a very, very powerful, strong bond. And the father trying his best to make sure that his wife and his daughter are protected, that they are taken care of, even though he's struggling in that department. They don't have much money, but they're all working together. They're all in this together, and he's trying his best. Well, one day his daughter goes missing, and her body is found at the bottom of a well, which devastates the mother. She's had miscarriages in the past. They've already lost a baby before their daughter was born. And so their daughter, Gertie, now that she's died, sends the mother into a spiral because they were always together, always close, always doing things. And this woman cannot believe that her daughter is gone. This leaves a great amount of guilt on the man, Martin, on the father, because Martin had been out hunting, trying to get some food for his family. His daughter, Gertie, decided to follow him out to the woods, but he never saw her. So obviously she never made it there. But there are a lot of things in this book that tie into this incident, because there are diary pages we'll read from the mother explaining exactly what happened and what she thinks is going on, but not everything, because the exact method for raising these sleepers from the dead, from raising these people from the dead to become sleepers, are hidden away in diary pages that she has hidden in little tiny cubby holes all throughout their house. And she got those from a person she called Auntie, who basically raised her as a child, a Native American woman who believes in all the curses and all the sorcery and all the magic. In fact, her auntie lived in a house where townsfolk would sneak up to get cures for things, for different ailments and love potions as she was growing up, even though the people in town would never admit it because the rumor was that she was a witch, she was a bad woman, and all that kind of thing. But she learned a lot about these spells and about how to skin animals and about how to hunt. She learned all her basic skills from this woman named Auntie. But Auntie died in a very horrific way, which we'll find out later in the book. And this left her lonely and devastated. Then she met Martin. And like I said, they'd had kids before, but some of them were miscarriages, a baby that had died shortly after birth, a baby boy. And then finally Gertie, who seemed to be the one that was going to stick, the one that made them a family unit. Now she's found dead at the bottom of this well. We learn about all this in the past, but in the present, strange things continue to happen in this area, on this plot of land. Because living in the same house as this family from the early 1900s is another family, a mother and two daughters. And one day the mother goes missing, ups and disappears. Neither daughter has any idea what happened to her. She was there, and then she wasn't, and this is totally unlike her mother, their mother. This is totally something completely out of left field. They have no idea what happened. And the obvious thing would be, why didn't they call the police? Well, that is also explained in the book. There's a very good reason why they didn't immediately go to the police. But they decide to go searching for clues to their mother's disappearance. See if they can find anything that might explain where the mother went and why she just upped and disappeared. So they go looking, and they do find some things, but not things that give them any answers. It just adds to the mystery of what happened to their mother. They find something in a little cubbyhole that they didn't know that was there. But it's a gun, which their mother detested. There's wallets. A wallet and a little purse containing IDs from two people that they've never known, they've never met, their mother never talked about. And so there's a mystery to be unraveled and to be solved. But come to find out, something very, very twisted, something very horrific happened in the past on this property. And we meet other characters who are drawn to this place for different reasons throughout the book. And each character has their own reason, their own guide, I guess you could say, to why they want to be there and what their involvement is in this town, and especially on this property where this portal is, way out in the backwoods from this house. And eventually all of these people and all of these reasons will come together in a really scary conclusion that'll raise the hairs on the back of your neck and put some goosebumps on your arms. Because we find out some things about these sleepers, some different rules about not only how to bring them back from the dead for 7 days, but about what would happen if they actually attack and kill a human being while they're in this sleeper state, I guess you can say. And the presence of this little girl, Gertie, that disappeared and died in that well, we find out some secrets about her. She may not have died by accident, we find out. The spirit of the auntie from all the way back many, many years. She'll make an appearance, and all these people who have a reason to be there, that are drawn to this place and drawn to this house, they're all going to come together in a very action-packed, very thrilling, very tense-filled finale sequence that'll just blow you away. I love the way this book discussed all them things from the past, giving you enough information, and then jumping ahead to the present day and giving you that information, and how all these loose ends tie themselves together throughout the book. And there's no reasonable explanation for this. It's definitely a horror book. This isn't a mystery or a thriller. It's a horror book because some of the things that happen, especially near the end, once all these revelations are out in the open, are very horrific, very terrifying, and it's just a great, fantastic read throughout. So yeah, even though this is my first time reading from this author, I think I made the right choice. I'm going to go back and get more of her books, definitely. It was definitely a thrill ride. I enjoyed it from beginning to end. It's got curses, it's got spirits, it's got people coming back from the dead, it's got a mystery involved. What more do you want? It's right up my alley. And I think you'll like it too. If you have not read it, read it right now. The Winter People. And I'll leave a link down below to the Amazon page if you want to purchase it from there. I'll also leave a link down below to my Twitter feed if you want to join me on the Twitter. Come be a twit with me. And as always, thank you for taking a little bit of your time spending it with me. I really appreciate it. And until we meet again, keep reading spooky, my friends.